Have you ever had that eerie feeling that something or someone is watching you even when you're sure you're alone? Tonight, we're diving deep into a real story that shook an entire neighborhood. A story so unsettling, so unexplainable, that even seasoned investigators were left speechless. Forget Hollywood horror. No film could ever capture the chilling truth of what happened inside one quiet, suburban home. What was discovered there will linger in your mind long after this video ends. Our story begins in the small, peaceful town of Brookfield, the kind of place where everyone knows each other, or so they thought. In 2017, a young couple, Emma and Daniel, moved into a modest two-story house on Maple Street. It seemed perfect. The neighborhood was quiet, filled with the laughter of children and the scent of freshly cut grass. To Emma, the creaking floors and gentle hum of the refrigerator felt comforting, as if the house itself was welcoming them home. But sometimes perfection hides its own secrets. Daniel often joked that the silence in the house felt too quiet to be normal. Neither of them could have imagined that beneath that calm exterior, something unseen was already waiting. It all started innocently. One morning, they found a small, neatly folded note on their doorstep. "Nice house," it said in elegant handwriting. They assumed it was a friendly gesture from a new neighbor. But when a second note appeared days later, things began to feel less like a welcome and more like an intrusion. This note mentioned Emma by name. Another referred to something Daniel had been doing inside the kitchen. The words were brief, but their meaning was heavy. Someone was watching. The couple tried to laugh it off as a prank, but as the notes kept coming, the laughter faded. Emma started double-checking the locks. Daniel began leaving lights on. Each message felt closer, more personal, as though the writer wasn't just outside anymore, but inside their lives, learning every detail. The place they called home was starting to feel like a trap. Desperate for answers, Daniel installed security cameras all around the property. Every corner was under watch. So they thought. Days passed, and yet the notes continued to appear without a single person being caught on camera. It was as if the writer knew exactly when and where not to be seen. Fear turned into obsession. Daniel started staying up late, glued to the live feeds, convinced he'd catch the culprit. Then came the night that changed everything. Around 3 a.m., their dog started barking uncontrollably, staring at the kitchen door. Daniel rushed downstairs, checked the yard, the locks, the cameras, nothing. When he came back inside, Emma was standing in shock. There, pressed against the asterisk inside asterisk of the kitchen window, was a fresh note. It read, "You missed me tonight." The horrifying realization hit them like a cold wave. Whoever had been watching wasn't just outside anymore. They had been inside the house. When the police got involved, the couple hoped for answers. Investigators combed through every inch of the home, checking for hidden entrances, fingerprints, or footprints, but found nothing, not a single trace of intrusion. The officers initially dismissed it as a prank until other reports started surfacing. Residents up and down Maple Street began finding similar notes, hearing strange noises at night and receiving silent phone calls from disconnected numbers. The entire neighborhood fell into a quiet panic. The investigation then uncovered a dark piece of local history long forgotten. Decades earlier, a man had lived in that very same house, a postal worker, who became infamous for his obsessive attachment to the people on his route. He was known for leaving letters that blurred the line between friendly and frightening, and then one day he simply vanished. The story had become folklore, a ghost story whispered, but never truly believed. Until now. Forensic analysts were brought in. They compared the new notes to historical samples of the missing postal worker's handwriting. The result was terrifying. It was a nearly perfect match. But this only deepened the mystery. How could letters written today match the handwriting of someone who disappeared decades ago? The cold case was reopened, but there was no logical explanation. The writer's identity remained hidden, and the notes continued to appear sporadically, as if to remind everyone that they were still there. For Emma and Daniel, it was the breaking point. They moved out, unable to live with the constant uncertainty. But even after they left, neighbors claimed that notes began appearing on other doors, or taunting messages that made everyone on Maple Street look over their shoulder. The once peaceful community was never the same again. The laughter and comfort that once defined the neighborhood were replaced by an uneasy, quiet. In the end, the story became a legend, an urban tale of obsession, mystery, and the thin line between reality and the unknown. To this day, no one knows who wrote those notes or how they appeared inside locked homes. Some say it was all an elaborate hoax. Others swear they've seen the figure of a man in a postal uniform wandering the streets at dusk. But the truth remains buried in those letters. And one thing is undeniable. No movie can match the chill of a real-life mystery that refuses to die. This story proves that sometimes the scariest things aren't on screen, they're waiting just outside your door. Thanks for watching. If this story gave you chills, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more true mysteries that are stranger than fiction. Stay safe out there.